James with Net News Ledger. Joining us by phone is the Minister of Health and the Thunder Bay Superior North MP, Patty Hadju. Welcome back to Net News Ledger for a Thursday, Minister.
Thank you very much, James. And I fully understood what you mean when you say Thursday. I think everybody feels like every day is Wednesday.
It's been a strange day, and it's been a strange week. We're starting to see the economy opening up. Here in Ontario, here in Thunder Bay, the lineups outside stores are large. It's sort of nerve-wracking because we've also watched the numbers start to edge up slightly. What do you feel we should be doing here?
Well, listen, it's going to take all of us to keep our numbers in a manageable place. Let me just remind you that what an outbreak looks like, and you don't have to look very far. You can take a look at the pictures coming out of New York for a real critical look at what happens when an outbreak gets out of control. And there are a number of other examples. We see the devastation in our long-term care homes. Montreal is, although not exceeding their hospital care capacity, very close to the edge. These are the kinds of things that can happen if we take our foot off the gas pedal right now, of the things that we've learned how to do, which is really wash your hands, stay home if you're sick, even if you're a little bit sick, and make sure that you're keeping physical distance between yourselves. And I think when we're talking about lining up at stores, immediately I think, that we need to remember that it's best to not leave if you don't have to leave. Just because stores are open doesn't mean you have to go out and go shopping, and I understand people want to, but I think it's important to remember that, we still haven't licked this thing. We've managed to sort of flatten the first curve in Canada together, but there's still a long ways to go.
That's kind of the message that we're finding, and I'm thinking as I go through this, because everybody is feeling, okay, it's nice outside, and they're feeling like we've had enough of this, so what are we going to do next? And we're only at the beginning.
I think that's a really wise summary, actually. And I think, listen, there's nothing wrong with getting outside and getting some fresh air. If you're fortunate to have a deck or a balcony, make sure you spend some time in the sunshine. It's good for your mental health. Wear your sunscreen, of course. But obviously, listen, there's a way that we can feel better about the situation that we're in, and we can get some breathing room, outside. But it's really important that we remember that this idea of physical distancing is not over, and that gathering in large groups is still not safe, and that we're not just protecting our own health. Actually, more critically, we're protecting the health of our families, the older people in our lives, the people with underlying conditions, and even the people that don't have underlying conditions. I think what's been most shocking to me as a Minister of Health, as I've watched this pandemic unfold in Canada, is the number of young 20 to 40-year-olds that get really significantly sick, and maybe they're not as much at risk of dying, but they're very, very ill. It's a quite severe illness if you happen to be one of those folks that has a more serious expression of it. So I think we're still not out of the woods.
Now, shifting into some Northwestern Ontario issues, and I might be blindsiding you on a little bit, but I'm going to try not to. I've been talking to the Northwestern Ontario Air Carriers Association, which is the small outfitters with their fishing and hunting camps, and they're extremely concerned right now because with the border closed till at least the 21st of June, the costs for them to start to open up as just the insurance on their aircraft exceeds $40,000 for the year. There's a lot of small businesses that are still struggling, and the government is moving forward to help people in a lot of areas. Transportation is probably going to be one of the biggest ones we have to figure something out on.
Well, I know the Minister of Transportation has been working with air carriers of all sizes, but in particular some of the small carriers, to make sure that they can continue operating services, especially for rural and remote communities. And I want to thank people like Chief Fiddler and others that have reminded me of the importance to continue to have that air bridge to their communities and back for essential services and for healthcare and for all of the reasons that we know. In terms of the tourism sector, and in particular our own regional tourism tourism folks. I know this is a tough time. We're there with a variety of different supports, including new supports now for people that don't fit within the constructs of CEBA and the wage subsidy. I would encourage them to reach out to FedNor or the Community Futures organizations that can help figure out the next steps for them. But I will say that it is critical right now that we keep that border closed. I was very pleased as the Minister of Health that we were able to negotiate an additional 30 days of non-essential travel restrictions. We know that travel is increasing in general as countries release some of their restrictions and as Canadians, begin to move about, which is their constitutional right. So we're working now internationally and domestically to figure out stronger health measures for all kinds of travel, including domestic travel. But I will say that it's important that we get our house in order, to your earlier comments, before we increase risk of importation of cases in any way.
Thank you for that. Now, the other week when we were talking, I raised the issue of intercommunity bus service here in Northwestern Ontario. We've seen the Ontario Northland now running a route from White River to Winnipeg with their large, shiny buses, as Minister Rickford calls them. But I raised the issue with Premier Ford on the comment you made that there is federal monies available for intercity bus communication, and his message back to me was, show me the money. It still seems a little confusing here on what, is there full communication happening at the level it should be with federal and provincial governments?
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I know that when Greyhound service was pulled, that the Minister of Transport was clear that if provinces wanted support to fill in the gaps that Greyhound made, that we would look at those requests very closely. To my knowledge, those requests were not made by the province at that particular time. I'm glad to hear that Ontario Northlands is providing those services, and we can only continue to do that work. I know there's also services provided through a number of other small communities and in a variety of ways. But yes, ground transportation is an issue in Northern Ontario, and I look forward to working with people that have a solution that can help meet the gap. It's a difficult space, though. I will say that, and I will say, back to the Ontario government, that we're willing to continue those conversations to address any shortages that they may identify.
I was talking to a couple of my contacts up in the Greenstone area, and they're very worried. First on losing bus service, but also on just the general impact to the economy in the Northwest with the shutdowns of so many businesses.
I think that's a very real worry of our government, and that's why we've been investing in small businesses and in wage subsidies and in the CEBA, as you know, and now through FedNor for smaller entrepreneurs and others that cannot get traditional loan support or loan support through our programs. And that's really about trying to protect those small business communities all across the country, including in rural communities like ours. And we know rural communities struggle in general in terms of keeping an economy going. So I think this is a very real worry for me as well as a Northern Member of Parliament. I've spoken about it a lot with my colleagues, and it's partly why we're seeing the investment in FedNor and these kinds of approaches is that me and Marcus Pawlowski and many other Northern Ontario MPs have been advocating for increased capacity at the local level to work with these small businesses and entrepreneurs who often don't have a revenue of higher than $40,000 or a payroll of $40,000, and so we have to protect the fabric of these communities. I've often said that it's more than they don't just provide an economic boost to the communities in which they exist, but it's also around the cultural fabric of the communities. If you think about Thunder Bay, for example, those small businesses that are in our downtown North Core and in South Core, that's what's revitalizing our communities. And so we need to protect these entrepreneurs and make sure that they have a capacity to weather the storm.
Now, you bring up an interesting point there, because today, the news is percolating through Thunder Bay that RBC called in a $2,000 note on the Finlandia Association, and now it looks like the Hajdu and the Finlandia Association voted last night to liquidate the organization. So we could be losing a major cultural icon here in Thunder Bay.
I know that my office has been in touch with the Finlandia board, and we respect their decision. I mean, I think that their financial problems, from our understanding, predated COVID-19,
Yes.
but that's the reality of a pandemic like this, is that for businesses that are struggling, that are on the edge, it can be exactly what causes, in a more intense crisis. And so I've worked extensively with the Finnish community over the years that I've been elected. It's a point of pride for me, actually, to be a member of parliament for a community that has the largest Finnish population per capita outside of Finland. And I know that the board has done an amazing job trying to reorganize themselves to be able to continue. And obviously, I stand by, ready to assist in whatever way possible. But at this point, that is the decision of the board, and I do respect and honor it.
Minister, is there any message you'd like to leave with the residents of Thunder Bay Superior North and beyond?
Just keep up the hard work. I know this is not easy. I think if you want to use hockey terminology, we're past the first period. Let's hope it doesn't go into overtime. But we know that there's still some ways to go. And although it feels better out there because the sun is shining and some of our favorite stores are open, we really do have to protect our families from infection by making sure that we're protecting ourselves from picking up the virus and unwittingly transferring it to the people we love. Make sure that you wash your hands and stay home when you're sick, and keep your distance. Don't hold big parties. Stick to your family bubble. And ultimately, at the end of the day, wear a mask if you're not able to physically distance in the stores or in the settings that you're visiting. A mask does not provide, by the way, a free pass on all of the other things. It's really important that people remember that it's just another layer of protection for the people around you, that the other things matter even more from an evidence perspective.
Minister Hadju, as I've been saying to everyone, stay tuned and stay safe, and thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much, James. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye. And this is James with Net News Ledger. That was Minister of Health and Thunder Bay Superior North MP Patty Hadju joining us by phone. Now, our message remains. Stay safe and stay tuned and stay subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down there. Make sure that you know what's going on here in Northwestern Ontario.